So before this video starts, I want to apologize for me looking absolutely terrible. I haven't shaved, I haven't got a haircut because this whole quarantine thing, I would look still disgusting, but I look worse because of everything that's happening. So I apologize for that in advance. So just, you've been warned. Wings of Fire, Book 13, The Poison Jungle. Holy shit, we need to talk about this. Now you might be wondering where my reviews for 11 and 12 are. I didn't review those. I did read them though. Now, before we get started, I should stress this. I'm gonna swear. It just happens. I've had comments on my previous Wings of Fire videos saying, hey, watch your language and stuff like that. Guys, I curse. I'm sorry. It just happens. I just do it. Like, I don't even mean to do it a lot of the times, and I just do it, okay? I'm sorry. Let's get into the review. So in the previous books, we have had Blue as our main protagonist, and then we had Cricket. And Cricket, I thought was okay. Blue, I thought was, he was alright. He was kind of people have made memes about him, but he's kind of a useless character. In book 11, he does nothing that entire book. It's pretty hilarious, which I didn't even pick up on. And then when I kind of reevaluated the book, I was just like, oh yeah, he really didn't do that much in that book, did he? But yeah, I mean, he's still a fine character. It's whatever. But this time, we move on to Sundew, and Sundew is a character who gets introduced in Wings of Fire book 11, and when she got introduced, I hated her, and I hated her in 12. I was just like, she's just another loudmouth, annoying character. Oh boy, I'm gonna hate her, aren't I? And well, I don't. This isn't a Peril situation where throughout the Wings of Fire series, I hated Peril, and then when I was done with her book, I despised her, even though I went into that with a mindset of maybe I was being too hard on Peril. And when I was done with that book, I'm like, yeah, I absolutely despise Peril. I never want anything to do with her. That's why I'm not reading Dragon Slayer, by the way, because I know a character who's related to her that's in it, and nope, not doing it. So that ain't happening. But I'm actually surprised. Sundew actually kind of grew on me. She's it's named after a plant. That's kind of a plant joke, isn't it? I gotta say, I genuinely liked her this time around. I really like her relationship with Willow, which, yeah, I forgot. Spoilers. We're gonna go into spoilers here. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I should have said that before. When you first meet her, you kind of get the sense that she's just mean all the time. She's just angry and, wants to hurt everyone. But when she's with Willow, she kind of like the real her comes out. And like, I don't know, I like it a lot more when she's with Willow than anything else. If anything, I think I like Willow a lot more than Sundew. I thought that her relationship with Willow was really cool. And I do have to say that I like that in this book that when characters discover that she's into Willow. I mean, she's supposed to marry a dude, and she's just like, I do not like this guy. I like my girl. I like that they never bring up the fact like, wait, she likes another girl? It's just, oh yeah, she likes another girl. That is awesome. I love that shit. Where it's just, hey, she's gay, it's accepted. Love that. It's awesome. That's just a minor thing that I love. I know that it would be kind of bad if they had a character who was anti-gay in these books. Holy shit, that would be really bad. Coming from someone who is actually gay, that's awesome. I like that. I like when characters just go, oh yeah, you're into that person, and they're the same sex as you. It's awesome. I gotta talk about some of the things that were actually spoiled for me before I went into this book. I had seen fan art of Sundew x Willow everywhere, and I'm like, well, I guess she's with with Willow now. That's who she's into. And then when they met the person she was supposed to marry, and she's like, oh, yep, supposed to marry him. Yep, totally him. I'm like, It ain't him. So I knew it already before going in. The character Hawthorne, I saw pictures of him with his like eyes all white and everything, and I'm like, okay, so maybe he's behind the mind control or something like that. Oh, I was very wrong. But I knew that something was up with him the moment they met him. Um, the entire time when they meet that character, I'm just like, this dude's a serial killer. Like every single time, he's just like, yeah, come in, come look at my carvings. Yeah, I made carvings of dragons and I talked to them. I'm like, this dude is a serial killer. He gonna slice everyone's throat. They rest in peace. But no, he doesn't. And what actually happens, guys, I don't. Where do they go from this point? Like, the ending of this book, how do I not talk about it? How do I just skip over everything and just talk about the ending? Holy shit. This is nuts. Okay, so I want to discuss the ending of before we get into the other things, I guess. Oh wait, I should mention Tsunami and Turtle are there because they have been traveling to Pentel um previously, and it's been like their like little adventures. I kind of wish we had a book about that. I'm a little bit more interested in what they're doing. But I mean, I'm glad. But oh, I forgot to mention. I was going to bring this up when I was talking about 11 and 12, that I had a sneaking suspicion that something wasn't right with Queen Wasp. That I was just like, okay, she's acting very mean, but something is off about her. Like, she seems like, she's scary and everything, but something's not right. And, like, I don't know how I could tell that just something was off about her. And sure enough, this book confirms it. That I was right. I don't know how. I gotta give credit where credit's due. This book introduced probably one of the most interesting villains besides Scarlet that we've had in a while. This character called the Other Mind, who shows up. And when he shows up, holy shit. A lot of people say that Darkstalker is their favorite villain. I've discussed that when I talked about book 10. I wasn't that into him. Even when I read his book, the Wings of Fire Darkstalker, I loved that book, but I never loved Darkstalker, the character. For me, it was always Fathom. I love my boy Fathom. I'm sorry. Because, like, Darkstalker, like, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I don't mean to do this, but I'm just going to just voice my opinion here. Darkstalker was like this really over-the-top kind of character from, like, I feel from the very beginning. Fathom was just this dude that got dicked over in life by his psychopathic grandfather who fucking slaughtered everyone. And he's just a regular dude. I mean, there's like a point where he's just fucking depressed about everything that happened, and people are treating him weird because he's an animist and, like, like, keeping away from him. Like, I felt bad for homie. Anyway, that's my whole thing. Also, I do need to say, I will never be able to look at plants ever again after this book. What the fuck? First of all, book 12 had the weirdest fucking twist, I think, of every book in this series. Cricket discovering that her mom is her sister. Okay? That was a twist, I guess. Whatever. But this book has some weird shit going down. First of all, plants apparently think and speak. Well, they don't speak, but she could... Sundew can hear their thoughts or whatever. What the fuck? There's this weird thing called leaf speak, which on Instagram, there was a post that was talking about the powers in this, and I said that it was useless, and people like said no, it's not. But what I meant, I didn't mean it was useless. I meant that it was very specific. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a very situational thing to use. You can't use it everywhere. You know what I mean? It's not like an animist thing or something like that. Leaf speak is weird, to say the least. Really disturbing. I listened to the audiobook and the plant's thoughts are like whispering, and it just, oh god, it made me so uncomfortable. It made my skin crawl, man. And especially learning about who the like the big bad guy is of Puntella, I'm like, just nuke that whole freaking place, man. Just drop a goddamn atom bomb on that place. Kill all the dragon eating plants and everything. Just. Oh my god, man. This book, like, the weird freaking plants in this book, man, they are weird. I didn't really talk about the plot of this book. I kind of just realized that. Basically, they found what is, like, essentially what Queen Wasp is using to mind control everyone, and they're trying to figure out what it is, and they eventually figure out it's a plant called the Breath of Evil, and they are sent to a guy who's been living out in the woods. I'm just gonna fly by, let's give you like a gist of what the story is about in this book, where the group is basically sent, besides Blue, my homie Blue he stays behind, but it's Sundew and Willow and I don't remember the bitch's name that complains a lot, and the dude that she's supposed to marry. I was about to say Hemlock, but that's her dad. Anyway, a lot of people hate on Belladonna. I think she's okay. I think she's actually pretty interesting, but they don't elaborate on her because Sundew's just like, I'm gonna fucking murder her. And I'm just like, I kind of want to know what she's about. What is Belladonna about? I know that she's kind of an asshole towards, like everyone else, but like, she seems like a reasonable asshole. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't seem like she'll just outright murder you. She kind of seems like someone that will just be like, okay, let's talk about stuff and let's yell at each other before we actually start fighting. Yeah, that's the kind of gist that I get from her. Anyway, they are sent into the poison jungle, because that's where they live, but they are sent deep into like the woods and everything to go find this dude that's been studying the plant, the Breath of Evil. They find this dude, he's surrounded by fucking vipers and shit, and he's just like, oh yeah, these are my friends, these are my pets, yeah, come on in, I'm totally not a serial killer that's gonna fucking slice your throats in your sleep. Come in, have tea. Anyway, red flags everywhere when they encounter that character, by the way. But he turns out to be something else. I need to discuss that because holy shit. So Queen Sequoia is still alive. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. And I actually kind of like her character. I have to actually say that. I don't know what happened to her towards the end of the book, but I feel bad. I don't want her little bitch daughter to be in charge now. I like her daughter, but she's not as cool as Queen Sequoia. When she talks, I'm just like, damn, she has authority. I fucking like Queen Sequoia. But, I don't know what happened to her. She's probably dead. That's just probably the reality of it. She's dead. But... she tells this story, and when she told this story, I was just like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. Basically, when dragons arrived to Pentel thousands of years ago, shit was nuts. They were getting attacked by bees, and it was like, and other animals, and it was just ferocity that was unnatural. And finally they discovered it was because of the Breath of Evil or whatever, and I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head, but like, basically they destroyed it and stuff like that, and all those attacks stopped. And that's kind of the story of it. I believe. I might be missing a couple parts there. I forgot to mention, Hawthorne found a cure, and we're going to discuss that in a minute. But, yeah. So, this Breath of Evil, it starts growing because Sundew and the other dude that she's supposed to... Mandrake, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how you pronounce his name. He was the guy that she's supposed to marry. And they're like, okay, we're not going to have enough of this cure to... They have a plan. They're going to burn it because Queen Wasp is on the fucking way. She's coming. And they're like, okay, we have an idea. We can cure everyone. We're going to burn the cure, and it's gonna like create a cloud that's just gonna, everyone's gonna breathe it in, and they're gonna be free of the mind control, basically. This is not the fucking plan. Because they realize, oh shit, we're actually growing the breath of evil here. And he's like, okay, I need you to destroy it. I need you to burn it. You hear a voice say, he can try. And then my boy comes out, or I don't even know what the fuck this thing is. But I think it's like a sentient plant, I guess. Give me some Ocarina of Time vibes. Or any Zelda game vibes, because Great Deku Tree and Dekus. Okay. But, yeah. It's been controlling Hawthorne and Wasp. It's been controlling and making war and making everyone kill each other. The reason why Wasp has been so mean and so strict and, trying to freaking kill everyone is because it's not her fault. It's because this thing has been driving her nuts, and he even describes that, like, he basically fucked up her mind and made her, and is controlling her, basically saying, like, just fucking kill everyone, because this thing hates dragons. This thing is like the Skynet of Pentel. It became self-aware and was like, okay, I'm gonna wipe everyone out, but it doesn't have nukes like freaking Skynet did, and it's not an AI, it's a plant. I'm gonna refer to this thing as Pentel Skynet from now on. Anyway, so it's fucking pissed that dragons are staying on Pentel, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna kill all of you and make you kill each other. This character is really fucking interesting. I love how menacing he was, because it's just like, that's not Hawthorne talking, and you could tell it was, and it was awesome. They did that so well. It's one person writing this shit. I absolutely loved that. Just the way that this book ended, I was just like, well, everyone's going to Pyria now. And oh my god, we need to discuss that. Oh no. Okay, hold on. So it's been confirmed that the next book, main protagonist, is Queen Snowfall. Queen Snowfall is a bratty, mean, annoying little bitch. And this is our main protagonist of book 14. Fantastic. And she's a queen, which makes me very, very nervous. My boys, real talk, 100% real right now. If there's a part where she has to meet with the other queens and Ruby comes back, I'm done. Like, that's it. As soon as she gets mentioned, as soon as she shows up, like physically there and starts having dialogue, that's it. Book down. I'm out. No more Wings of Fire for me. Moment she comes back, my boys, it's game over. Alright, I just needed to get that out there. Anyway, I cannot recommend this book enough. This was fucking nuts. It has a bit of a slow build up, I will say that. But once this book gets going, it doesn't stop. And it gets so interesting. Right up until, like, when Willow comes in and everything. And, like, from that point on, this book just goes. And it's amazing. It's really, really good. Definitely a pleasant surprise. Arc 3 has been getting kind of a bad rep. Because, like, no one talks about Arc 3. Literally no one talks about Arc 3. You might see some fan art, some, like, a little bit, but no one discusses this arc. And it's a shame, because it's actually good. Like, it's actually really good. A lot of people said that they stopped reading after book 10, which I think is ridiculous, because I actually really like book 10. A lot of people absolutely hate that book. For me, you guys know I hate book 8. And that almost made me stop reading the series, but I pressed on and I actually really like 10, so I don't know. I mean, I definitely recommend you try arc 3 because like book 11, when that book starts, it doesn't stop either. That book, like, in the beginning there's like 2 chapters before shit hits the fan and the book just goes on a freaking roller coaster, and everything just goes crazy from there. Book 12, I would say, is the slower one, but it's not bad. I'd still say it's very interesting, despite it being a much slower book. But this one is nuts. Highly recommend it. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Or maybe 7.5 out of 10. Like almost an 8 out of 10. So, yeah, pick it up. Check it out.